It feels as though technologies like ChatGPT and self-driving cars materialized out of nowhere, arriving fully formed on our screens and streets. While ancient inventors toyed with mechanical automatons, the true scientific pursuit of an artificial brain didn't begin until the mid-20th century. In 1950, mathematician Alan Turing published a paper formalizing a specific, testable question: could a machine simulate human thought? 6 years later, researchers gathered at a Dartmouth College workshop and officially gave this field of study a name: artificial intelligence. The tools reshaping our modern world are the result of a grueling 70-year cycle of scientific ambition, massive financial investments, and repeated, devastating failures. In the 1960s, government funding flooded into university laboratories. Fueled by early computational successes, researchers confidently predicted they would build a fully intelligent machine within 2 decades. They were chasing artificial general intelligence, a machine capable of replicating human-level adaptability, vision, language, and reasoning across any problem. These scientists watched their computers master checker strategies and solve complex algebraic word problems. The math worked, and it gave them immense confidence. But they were attempting to simulate the human mind using hardware that filled entire rooms just to process a fraction of a modern calculator's workload. Because early algorithms succeeded in rigid mathematical environments, researchers severely underestimated how difficult it would be to replicate the messy intuition required to navigate the real world. This diagram shows a decision tree facing a combinatorial explosion. As variables increase, possible decisions multiply rapidly into a dense tangle. Early models worked in closed systems like checkers. But faced with reality's unpredictable variables, processing demands exceeded capabilities, causing a system breakdown. In 1973, mathematician James Lighthill delivered a report to the British Science Council exposing these limitations. In response, both the US and British governments abruptly cut off funding for exploratory AI research. When technological promises heavily outpace reality, the money dries up and scientific progress freezes. The field had entered what became known as the first AI winter. By the 1980s, the industry attempted a commercial revival through expert systems. Instead of trying to build general intelligence, programmers manually hard-coded the specific, step-by-step logic of human professionals into software. This flowchart represents that rigid, top-down approach. It required massive international investment to build specialized hardware capable of processing these massive lists of rules. But these systems were incredibly brittle. If encountered with a single variable outside its programmed rules, the logic failed entirely. As cheaper, general-purpose computers began to outperform these expensive, specialized machines, the market for expert systems collapsed in 1987, and a second, longer-lasting AI winter began. This commercial collapse revealed a practical limit. A manual list of rules is always finite, while the world is not. Developers found that no matter how many thousands of instructions they hard-coded, the systems remained fragile because they couldn't understand anything they hadn't been explicitly told. The freeze lasted into the 2010s, ending only when 2 distinct technologies matured simultaneously: massive digital datasets and highly efficient graphics processing units, or GPUs. Together, they enabled deep learning. Instead of feeding machines rules, researchers fed them vast amounts of data and allowed biological-inspired neural networks to process it. This abandoned the top-down methodology entirely. Researchers stopped trying to manually code intelligence and built systems capable of recognizing complex patterns on their own. By teaching computers how to learn for themselves, scientists finally bypassed the combinatorial explosion that had trapped them for decades, thawing the winter. Since 2012, victories have compounded rapidly. DeepMind's AlphaGo mastered the world's most complex board game entirely on its own, and large language models like ChatGPT achieved a near-human mastery of text generation. These narrow AI tools now excel at specific tasks, processing information so efficiently that they outwardly mimic human empathy and reasoning. Which brings us back to the question Alan Turing posed in 1950. As machines give every outward appearance of performing intellectual tasks, we have to ask if they are genuinely thinking, or if they are simply highly advanced statistical simulators. We are living through the greatest summer of artificial intelligence in history. Yet the 70-year cycle of booms and busts warns us that exponential progress is fragile, and long-term survival depends on keeping our expectations firmly grounded in reality.